Okay.
Hello. We record a tutorial about StarTrinity softswitch for GSM termination, part number 2. Some items are not covered from previous session.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first item: ways of blocking seams by test calls, by test call campaigns and CLI tests and list of B numbers. These are two different things that happen um, in the market. Okay, and on the diagram,
Mm-hmm.
um, here are test calls which go to web wholesale network, and first
Mm-hmm.
type of call is dialer campaigns. These are
These are generated calls, right?
generated traffic. Yes, generated traffic
Yeah.
which runs over a list of numbers, and these
Mm-hmm.
lists can change like every 2 weeks, for example. It depends on every destination. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this list of numbers. This is one way. This calls, and there are these are anti-fraud companies, and another type of companies which generate test calls are CLI test companies. Like uh, on the diagram, web market diagram,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they are here. Anti-fraud companies are these companies. Uh, Latero in Afghanistan, it changes as they change contracts. And
Mm-hmm.
there are also test call CLI test providers on diagram. Uh, I don't see them. Sorry.
CLI test.
CLI test companies.
Mm,
Uh, okay, this
okay.
element in diagram, web route test systems like itest.net, CSG, some other test my routes, some other. They
Mm-hmm.
have GSM gateways or other test nodes. They have test nodes
Mm-hmm.
distributed geographically. They have interconnections with GSM gateway owners also, and they
Mm-hmm.
have ability to receive calls at the at numbers at specific
Mm-hmm.
operator. So
Mm-hmm.
they have a network of test nodes, and the test nodes, the, the test nodes have numbers, test node numbers. These are B numbers, destination numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and the anti-fraud companies, they know these numbers, these list of numbers, and uh, not always, but sometimes, and also wholesalers
Mm-hmm.
try to understand which um, B numbers are used for such CLI tests. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and VoIP wholesalers can use CDR analysis to blacklist such CLI test numbers to pass the call
Mm-hmm.
to not to NCLI route but to CLI to make tests complete successfully. So VoIP wholesalers are
Okay.
interested in knowing this list of numbers to
Mm-hmm.
successfully mm, to pass these tests. So the tests will
Okay.
go and it will be blacklisted. It will not go to NCLI, and it will go to CLI route.
CLI. Yeah.
Yeah. So and anti-fraud companies, they know no this list, and we understand, but if the SIM card generates calls to such numbers, and these are not real numbers, and no real call can go to, only by mistake, bad digits, for example. So, for example, 2 calls to such test nodes mean that the SIM is used for gray route, for termination. And this is another way how the SIMs are blocked. And we had such cases in Latin America, about 3 years ago, when the SIM is inserted into GSM gateway and only few test calls are generated, and these are really test calls. We listen to recordings. These are really test calls from itest.net, and the SIM got blocked immediately after these three calls. And so, what was the reason? What was the reason? No real traffic, but these are test calls, and the companies know the lists. Okay, this is number 4. Do you understand this?
Yeah, I do. I know
Okay,
this.
okay. Okay, next. Status, current calls, CDR page, and recording in our softswitch, to see what happens with live traffic. We have CDR. It is asynchronously loaded. It's a call history, and there is such button to see details. Or here, I can view details of the call, the log, which explains what happens with
all the details.
with call,
Like
and there is a SIP trace. What happens? What happens with the call? And in CDR there are in and out calls, which mean A leg. This is A, and this is B leg. And if B leg exists and if it gets disconnected with non-successful, not 200, it means that the termination doesn't work, and there is a field released by caller side or called side. Who ends the call, and there is also a filter like build duration. We can filter. There are many filters. We can search by numbers, select date, select SIM cards if we use GoIP gateways and SIM management. If we use routing for GoIP gateways and SIMs, we can filter CDRs by SIM card and by channel. There are no channels now, not set up. Okay, we load only connected calls from 10 seconds, and this is build duration. Just a general call history. There are many columns. Most of them are hidden, and there is explanation. We can read description here and show some columns. Okay, CDR. There is status screen status with originators and terminators, origination and termination. And here is ASR and ACD display. And what? This is multi-tenant soft switch, item number 10. Multi-tenant. So I am administrator. I own the server, and if someone uses StarTrinity soft switch on his server, he can set up tenants, enter email, user login, and tenant. It is like a virtual VPS server which runs on dedicated server, and the server is shared, and you can make additional money by just reselling your server to someone else. Tenants, and there are settings for multi-tenancy. Multi-tenancy, it is set to 1 here. There are many settings also with descriptions. Okay, it's about multi-tenancy. Next, CDR current calls. There's a web page
current calls, we get status.
in status current calls. There are current calls, and the call can be aborted here in call details. Abort. Just immediately abort the call. Okay, current calls, and abort using the button, for example, if you want to abort live calls, or a button abort all calls. Screen is refreshed automatically. Incoming legs, ALEX, and connected ALEX, just general status. Okay, next. A recording. There is a way to record calls and see what happens in originators, for example. Test monitoring. These are test calls to monitor quality of this soft switch server. These are test calls. And in this test originator, I can set the recording option. Recording. These are recording settings. We can record RX streams. It is sound stream from caller to the soft switch, or from remote side to soft switch side. It is RX. There are also settings to record in terminator recording. This is for originator. From originator to soft switch is RX. I click, it is applied immediately. Record TX. It is when you want to record what is transmitted by the soft switch. When you put some call XML IVR and you want to self-test what is transmitted, you record TX. It is playback from soft switch. TX. Also mixed. It is A and B call leg recording. Received from this and together. But these settings, they take resources. It is better to select only one. It takes disk space, and the disk could be overloaded, especially if it is not a SSD. It could be overloaded. If you choose this option, you should monitor disk space on the server, on Windows Server. Okay, I clicked this recordings enabled, and if I go to CDR, I will see. I'll select originate. Okay, I selected originator test monitor in Canada, and it shows only calls from this originator ID. And we have links to download a WAV recording. We download a WAV file and we open WAV file. This is a WAV file in audio editor or whatever music player, and you can listen and
Hello.
understand what happens in the call. When you see short duration, low ACD issue, you should record. Maybe quality is bad, or what kind of call? Maybe
Yes,
quality.
maybe those are test calls.
Sorry?
Maybe they can be test calls too, right? If the ACD is low.
I could not hear.
Oh, the ACD. I mean, when the ACD is low, so there might be a possibility like they are test calls, like the generated calls, right?
Yes, it could. If the ACD answer duration is small, it could be. There could be many reasons. First, it is test call, and you listen to recordings and understand is it like artificial recording or not? Is it or is it dialer traffic from call center? Or there could be issue with audio quality, and you listen quality yourself. Okay, quality. Audio quality is an important thing in voice over IP. Recording. We talked about recording. Now we'll talk about system status. System status. This system status. The system status has an important indicator, media threads delay. You see, media threads delay. It is self-test of the softswitch. Softswitch tests itself and records a chart of media means audio processing, audio retransmission from A to B, leg and back, and the peaks. Do you see one peak in history? This is a peak. This peak means overload of CPU at this specific time. So you see that mostly it is good, but there are some peaks, and at this time,
Sometimes.
at this time there was a gap in audio. If audio goes from originator to softswitch through the softswitch through media IP address. Okay, so this is bad, but mostly it is good.
Most of the time, it's good.
And these small peaks they correlate with number of concurrent calls. This is number of A plus B legs, and we see a chart of current calls. These are daily peaks, peak hour. This is night, so it changes with 24-hour period, and also weekly period. This is a chart of concurrent call legs. And every call normally creates two channels, two call legs, A and B. Okay, and also signaling thread delay, it means high PDD. It is delay of SIP packets, invite. It is call setup, call answer, call connection. This is bad delay, but the delays of 2 seconds or 1 second are normal. It depends on what you do with softswitch. Most important
Right.
indicators are ASR and ACD. And
Mm-hmm.
if it's bad, you look into charts. This is CDR thread, GUI thread. Uh, it is GUI in zip tester and in zip tester product, different product. In zip tester it is GUI thread. In CDR, in softswitch it is related to CDR. Well, we have to rename it in display. It is actually CDR, not GUI.
Mm-hmm.
There are
Yeah.
for
CDO.
GUI. There are web server delays. SoftSwitch has
Mm-hmm.
internal web server, and we see some delays. Also, high delay means hanging of interface,
Mm-hmm.
and we see it is tracked, and there is a time when it happened. And for
Mm-hmm.
example, something doesn't work in SoftSwitch, it hangs for a long time, and you don't know, is it your internet connection? What is bad? Is it soft switch overload,
Mm-hmm.
or is it your bad internet connection? And so
Yeah.
using this indicator you understand that it is self-testing of soft switch, and it tracks its own overload. And if you get
Mm-hmm.
overload, if you get hang web page and you don't see overload here, it means that, yeah, it's your bad internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the web UI can be accessed from Chrome browser, well, from Firefox, also from mobile devices. Um, and mobile internet can work with bad quality sometimes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here you can update software, just one click and
Mm-hmm.
confirmation.
Yeah. And
Uh,
update automatically. Yeah.
I don't want to update now. I just show I can cancel
Mm-hmm.
update. Change log is what we develop. This is what we do, what we work on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, change administrator password. File cache, audio file cache. It's I cache of IVR files. When you change IVR files on disk and you don't change the script, you want to you might want to update the source switch. It will
Mm-hmm.
read the files from disk. Uh, Abort all current calls. Well, restart. These things are clear. Reset counters is when you want to
Mm-hmm.
reset all these
All the counters to zero.
indicator in
Right.
all these indicators. Yes, and it is set to 0. We refresh,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts with
New data.
new data. Okay, okay. Uh, well, free disk space is important. Operating memory. Okay, okay. It's about status. Status. We talked about it. Errors in the soft switch. When something is wrong, when call doesn't pass,
Mm-hmm.
all, you should go to CDR. You should go to these
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that will give
details.
you the detail of error. Yeah, 503. That means
Yeah,
not
and
available.
there is explanation in error log
Mm-hmm.
for the specific call, and there's also
Yes.
global log, uh,
Mm-hmm.
global system errors log. This is
Mm-hmm.
these are kind of global errors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is CDR read timeout, for example. Well, this should be sent to StarTrinity to developer to us. These
Yeah.
details, if it happens. There could be some bug in softswitch or bad configuration, and there could be an error in this log, system errors. And we need to know these details to fix the issue. What happens? There are also logs on the server in Windows. There is a setting, system settings. There is setting log level, and it could be set to 3 to debug, or to 4, and it records to this folder with logs. So if something is wrong, sometimes we ask for logs, full logs with debug or trace to see what happened with the call. In many cases, everything works good on our side, but with customer in specific situation it doesn't work, and it's not possible to simulate all possible environment. That's why we need to record what happens and debug the issues. Okay, that's about system errors. Okay, notifications. Notifications in softswitch. They are set up and well, there are different types of notifications.
Tenant registration expires, so they will get a notification on the email.
Yes, tenant gets notification 5 days before expiration. He will get email daily email. Registration expired notification is when he didn't pay. The tenant didn't pay. There is an interface to enter payments for the tenant to extend license. For terminator, low ASR, low ACD, you can turn it on. It's disabled now. When you need to monitor and be notified by email, ACD dropped below some threshold. You can configure originator RAM overflow. It is consumed memory is above. I set it to 3.5 gigabytes RAM overflow, and I am notified about huge memory consumption, and it could be a sign of softswitch crash. Maybe some tenant
they will overload.
Some tenant may overuse the softswitch, for example, but there are limits for tenants. But I monitor it anyway, and when it is back to normal RAM, and also low disk space, when there are many log files or many recordings and logs, you should monitor, and you should set up these notifications, and also balance out of credit for originator. When originator doesn't pay, there is balance, or there's also timeout to disable originator. Timeout, it's like billing period. So on monthly timeout, if he doesn't pay, you can notify originator, and you can add your CC email,
Mm-hmm.
add your own email in CC copy to get a
Yeah.
copy of email.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there are settings. Yeah, I will change the password. You can use Gmail to send emails.
Mm-hmm.
587 for Gmail. This is needed to set up sending
Mm-hmm.
of emails because it uses Gmail. It should use some
Yeah.
SMTP server. It doesn't send email directly from SoftSwitch. It always goes through some email
Yeah. Through the
server.
email. Yeah.
Email
Mm-hmm.
server. So enter ID password, and you can test these settings. Test this by some by this button. Send to some email.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah. Just a test email.
yeah, just to test these settings, that
Mm-hmm.
notification
Mm-hmm.
will work. Okay, okay. Next, employees are important when GSM terminator wholesaler, US wholesaler. When you
Mm-hmm.
have some employee, you add a new employee. Let's add some tests employee and some passwords. So 1111. You should not use simple password. It's just for tests.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Add a new employee, and every employee, there is one employee in this list,
Mm-hmm.
and every employee has rights to access
Yeah.
the web
What they
page.
can do and what they cannot do. Yeah.
For example, you add an employee to manage terminators, like
Mm-hmm.
career relationship manager. You set it to read
Mm-hmm.
write to access terminators, read write
Mm-hmm.
also suppliers,
Mm-hmm.
or dialer campaigns for generated traffic. You select what he does. Gateways, SIM cards, for example. You have some employee
Mm-hmm.
near gateway to
Mm-hmm.
just recharge SIM cards, to manage SIM cards. You add it to read only or read write. Add write for this employee and allowed gateway IDs. For example,
Mm-hmm.
you have employee in location number one. He manages
Mm-hmm.
these kinds of gateways, these IDs. Uh, Allow terminator IDs also. Uh, to have different separate employees for different locations of GSM gateways. But that is useful, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else? Employees, we talked about it. Gateways for GoIP. Okay, I don't have a live GoIP device right now to configure,
Mm-hmm.
to show GoIP. Maybe you will record this later.
Yeah. Yeah. Later, I'll do it. When I get a GoIP, I will do that. No problem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't have it
Uh-huh.
here. I don't do
No problem.
termination.
I have Yeah, I have some partners. So when I work with them, I'll just record a video.
Yes,
That'll be easier,
great,
you know.
great, great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't
Mm-hmm.
have it to record, but it is in menu, SIM management. Under SIM management gateways, you can add gateway location. A location you can location is needed to put limits per location. Limit per location, like number of calls
Mm-hmm.
per one location. SIM cards, list of SIM cards. When SIM card is inserted, it is automatically um, it is it appears automatically in this list. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Events log is list of sent USSD codes. Operators is automatically it appears
Mm-hmm.
automatically operator, and for every
Mm-hmm.
operator you set USSD recharge codes, template,
Mm-hmm.
what else? Some kind of settings and limits for operator. And recharge
Mm-hmm.
codes, it is like a voucher codes to send to recharge SIMs, and SIM could be
Mm-hmm.
recharged automatically using these USSD codes. Uh, it's very simple and only for GoIP, and it should be done by GSM gateway vendor actually. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they
Right.
they they have direct access to gateway. We don't have direct access to gateway. Uh,
Yeah.
but for GoIP, we have
We can make a remote access, right? So it
we
can be
have
accessed from anywhere.
yeah, for GoIP we have
Mm-hmm.
remote control server implementation directly in the softswitch,
Mm-hmm.
uh, like it is. I don't remember how it is called. Remote remote control server, which is installed on Linux from GoIP, and here it is
Yeah.
right inside the softswitch. This remote control
Mm-hmm.
server, and you can go to GoIP a web page through the soft switch, and you don't have to put public IP
Mm-hmm.
into the GoIP gateway. It could be
Right.
from internal IP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think I covers all imported CDRs to import
Mm-hmm.
from another soft switch and to analyze CDR
Yeah,
statistics.
we talk about this. Yeah,
Uh,
we talked
CDR
about the import CDR. Yeah, CDR statistics. There's the only thing left.
yesterday, I think we talked about imported CDRs.
Yeah. We talked about all just CDR statistics. We didn't talk about.
Yeah. And call XML log is when you put call XML element log
Mm-hmm.
to debug what
Mm-hmm.
happens in call XML. You see this the results in log and in call XML log, but there is no custom call XML right now and no live traffic on the call XML. But it is very useful when you write complex call XML scripts. CDR
Right.
statistics. CDR statistics. Okay, you can select from and to. It'll be 2 days, and we analyze. We can put some filters and prefix, country code, and star calculation.
Mm-hmm.
It analyzes CDR to calculate ASR, ACD, total cost, total profit,
Total sale. Yeah, everything. It's in can be seen here.
and here you can export the CDR to originator to supplier. Also,
Mm-hmm.
originator and supplier, they all have user portal
Mm-hmm.
in the soft switch. Originator here in details, they have web interface link for originator. They can go using ID and password. These are ID and password
Mm-hmm.
to access the soft switch. And originator can see his CDR and current calls. It's like a self-care portal, both for originator
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
terminator. They have self-care portal.
Mm-hmm.
Refresh. It's like when you add a new terminator, terminator GSM provider,
Mm-hmm.
you might want to let him access the soft switch and to check total costs. but
Mm-hmm.
and you let him view the call history, and the terminator doesn't have to install his own soft switch. It is to
Yeah.
save money. No need to set up soft switch for everyone. They can access
Yeah.
exactly same soft switch
Yeah.
and
I think it will take some time.
yeah, just waiting. We can see status of
Mm-hmm.
current CDR threads in system status screen also. Here we see CDR reader module. There are 2 of 4,
Mm-hmm.
totally maximum 4 threads. This is 8 core CPU server, and I set it to maximum 4 threads
Mm-hmm.
for CDR reader, and it is in progress right now. 2. First is
Mm-hmm.
first is your thread, and another thread is uh,
Mm-hmm.
is this CDR statistics calculation thread, um,
Mm-hmm.
multi-threaded system.
Okay.
Okay, still processing. Okay, and it also shows what time of what's the time of last executed CDR procedure. Okay. This server has a regular disk, not SSD, and it is slower. Here, slower. It is ready. See their statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Total number of calls, number of connected calls, number of builds, minutes, sales costs. I don't know why it's negative margin, negative profit. Not all tenants set up
Mm-hmm.
rates correctly here.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's, I don't know why.
Yeah, that's some. Yeah, you went to actually negative because the cost is more. Maybe they did it wrong.
I don't know. I don't analyze this data. Maximum
Mm-hmm.
channels
But
count.
it's okay because every time, because I have the same thing. Every time it gives me like perfect, perfect data. So it's okay. It's actually fine.
Okay, good. So let's finish the recording then.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good. If someone has specific questions, please send us an email,
yeah.
website. Yeah. Okay.
Or put it in the comment
And also
so we can reach.
GSM
Mm-hmm.
terminators. You can contact us. Zishan, you can get clean traffic, and we can
Mm-hmm.
work together, agree on prices. I do software.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Zishan, you do wholesale, and we work together against sim blocking. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for watching.